protecting, almighty, powerful, and mighty over all things. This is the nature of God, the one who loves us and cares for us, the one who guides us and protects us, the one who saves us and redeems us. Bring us your nature, come for your creations, oh nature, oh God, creator of all things. Father of all, loving and caring, sovereign Lord, authority over all things, Savior of humanity from sin and death, Redeemer of our souls from the consequences of sin. This is the nature of God, creator of the universe and all things in it, shepherd of his people, guiding and protecting, almighty, powerful, and mighty over all things. This is the nature of God, creator of the universe and all things in it, shepherd of his people, guiding and protecting, almighty, powerful, and mighty over all things. This is the nature of God, creator of the universe and all things in it, shepherd of his people, guiding and protecting, almighty, powerful, and mighty over all things. Holy One, pure and righteous, rock of our salvation, strength and stability, Alpha and Omega, beginning and ending, eternal nature, forever and ever. This is the nature of God, creator of the universe and all things in it, shepherd of his people, guiding and protecting, almighty, powerful, and mighty over all things. This is the nature of God, creator of the universe and all things in it, shepherd of his people, guiding and protecting, almighty, powerful, and mighty over all things. This is the nature of God, creator of the universe and all things in it, shepherd of his people,
Greater light,
guiding and protecting, almighty, powerful, and mighty over all things. This is the nature of God, the one who loves us and cares for us, the one who guides us.
greater light, greater light. Let me get it started right, huh? I'm not feeling hot. I ain't feeling too hot. It's almost like the light is slowly draining from this flesh, and it feels good to me, huh? All I'm doing is sitting here every moment being thankful for the things that I experienced, huh? And my part in it, huh? My vision is extra blurry. The tick tick in my heart is getting louder and louder, huh? I can hear my heart ticking from up here. I got it recorded. The first time I recorded it was on May 12th. But I feel so good. You know, it's like when you know what you know, like, I don't know. If you want to know where I am going, I don't know. That's how I feel. But I'm not doing it like it's the end of the world or anything like that. I know it's just the beginning of things because, you know, with this new job that I have, I get to create my own schedule. So I already got myself all scheduled to work and everything like that, you know, because you know how it's, some will be working in the field, one would be, you know, and one would go and the other one, I don't know. That's just how I feel. And I don't feel like I'm wrong. To the point where the simplest things that I'm thankful for. Thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. The simplest things. I was on the toilet, huh? And I was thinking about London McLovin's toilet bowl series yesterday. This seemed like everything was about Browns and mierda and all that, right? So I looked at the toilet paper and I said, I wonder exactly when toilet paper was created. And for as far back as I could remember, I don't ever remember being without toilet paper. And I needed to call my mother and tell her. I swear, thank you, mother, that I never had to wipe my behind with a leaf. Even all the times that I was homeless. When I think back to all the times that I was homeless, I even always had toilet paper. Red Squid X. Greta Light, Red Squid X. So I called my mother to tell her, I was like, well, Mom, because like my husband, he's younger than me. Now, even though we it's been years since I've heard from him, I don't know where he at and whatever he got going on. He's like 5 years, 6 years younger than me. And his story growing up is that they had outhouses. He had to go to an outhouse. And there was times that he had to use leaves and stuff around because they didn't have toilet paper. Oh my goodness. So I literally called my mother just to say, Mom, thank you for whatever that you did. That all the years of my life, I never remember wiping my behind on nothing but toilet paper. And I said, well, when you were growing up, now I'm thinking about history and paper and toilet paper. So I said, well, Mom, did you always have paper? You know, being from the islands? And she said, yes. She said it was sometimes brown paper or that type of paper that's like newspaper. But they always had paper. And I was like, wow, now I'm really thinking back. So now I call my grandmother. I shared a laugh with my mother. She laughs and she's like, yes, 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 thank God. She said that's something my grandmother always told her, never be without. If you be without anything in the world, don't be without toilet paper. And my grandmother told me, her grandmother, when I told my grandmother, do you have some salt? She said her grandmother and mother told her never be in the house without salt. So I called my grandmother and I was like, Grammy, you know, with y'all being the originals of Old Bite, of Cat Island, and you being born as early as in the early 1900s, did you always have toilet paper? And my grandmother said, we always had paper. They always had paper. She didn't have to wipe with a leaf or shrubs or trees. She said they always had paper. I said, so before cars, because she didn't know about cars until she was in her teens. And I said, so before cars, you always had toilet paper? She said, yep, we always had toilet paper. I was like, wow, thank God for toilet paper. Thank you, Lord. All right. Red Squid came on over here. That's mean I'm supposed to drop the link, but you don't have to stay right now. You could come later if you want to, because I don't want to get thrown off from this build that I got right here. But I really do appreciate you. And you did say how you don't always have to get on my panel. I can go ahead and clip the things that make sense to me. From all the years of me learning in that chat up under you. Yes, you said that. Okay, I appreciate it. Look. Let me put on my glasses. So, yesterday I went over Esther, the book of Esther, and showed how she tricked Mordecai, right? And so I said, well, you know what? Let me type Mordecai in the Federal Register. Now it all events. We're going to take a little travel back in time. Remember, after Kanye went into office and sat and talked with Trump in 2018? And then not long after he came out of that office, he started exclaiming that we were Jews. Oh, and it was a big thing, right? And I never disagreed with him. As a matter of fact, I said, if he ain't talking about me, then he ain't talking about nothing. You know, I had my little feelings, mixed feelings in that. Because I was studying what he was studying, but who am I? But I never really truly made that connection with Trump and him until just now. So when I typed in Mordecai, I said, if you read the book of Esther and read it for what it is, she used all her sluttiness and whoredom and tricked Mordecai because he was a giant. He was an original. He was a true Lion of Judah. Right here, let me show Federal Register. Let me show Federal Register. You see this? In 2018, Donald Trump did the Jewish American Heritage Month. But within this, the reason why it is not the same Jewish mission that Barack Biden them does is because his focus was on Mordecai. See, April 1818, Mordecai Noah. Now, the thing about Mordecai Noah is that Aseret in New York, this all may be a simulation of commerce. But the point is, Mordecai Noah felt that the 12 tribes, the lost tribes of Israel, was here in the United States. The lost tribes was here. The natives, the ones who claim they, like my grandmother always say, we didn't come off no boats. I don't know about other people, but we didn't come off her side. Now, she said, like my mother's side, her father, them, they came off the ships from England and all that. They came off the boats, but her side was always here. So, see, that's how I get the torn history. I know both sides. I know I deal with DNA, the DNA that want to kill, that would sell out. One part of my DNA all twisted up and mingled. It's in my blood. So Mordecai Noah, whatever picture they show of this man and his skin tone and his color, whatever his research and development that he did, he realized that there are 12 tribes and it's in the light code. And he did a refuge up there in the upper parts of New York. Some people, when they read the history and don't read everything, because I found this out this morning and have been all up in the National Library of Congress. I've been at different universities reading parts of his work, seeing where some of his work is taken and hid and things like that. But even right here in Wikipedia, which, you know, Wikipedia is iffy depending on who the contributor is. And so let's see, right about, let me share this tab instead. Now that's not him. It's a picture by this person, but that's not him. Right about here. I would have to take my time and read this part with you. And that's not really my focus, to read his information, because you could go and research for yourself. Don't believe me? Check it out. His belief is that right here, Noah also shared the belief among various others that some Native American Indians, and that's just a term, that's why it's in quotations. It's not meaning that's what he's calling them, but they put it in there, were from the lost tribes of Israel, on which he wrote a discourse on the evidence of American Indians being descendants of the lost tribes of Israel. Now, again, why is this to me so important around the time that Trump did this? Because if you look at the story of Esther, where she tricked Mordecai, and then they use their commerce codes within the Federal Register to bring up Mordecai and Noah and Israel. And he goes and he does something like this. Isn't that like letting people know out loud? He got Selma in here. See, Jewish Americans marked for the civil rights in Selma. See it, and fought for the freedom of their brethren behind iron curtains. See it. Not only, wait, I'm not sharing the tab. I'm not sharing the tab. Even right here where he says, in the light of, he says, look, the light unto the nations. So not long after he did this right here, and he met up with Kanye West, Kanye West walked out of his office talking about, "Lay y'all, look, we Jews. Hey y'all, we Jews. You is from the line of Judah, huh? He just gave me the secret, and all you gotta do is listen to what I'm saying. And if you listen to what I'm saying, huh? There's so much land and property that you can get for those who don't mind being left behind, huh? Those who don't mind being left behind. There's 144,000 witnesses that will be able to let you know in their own way that this earth is going to be cleansed. But you have to know who you are. Remember who you are. And guess what Trump did? He let us know. He put it in this Federal Register document. He put his signature on it. And when the Abraham Accord and when all of them realized what he did, they said, "Oh no, you're not for to rewrite history. We got them fool and bound. We got them yoked by the neck." There's two types of yokes, huh? There's the yoke, huh? That'll come from a woman that'll say, "My yoke is easy, huh? Because my burden is light." The burden of the light, burden of being light code, to come and have to say this stuff and not, it don't matter. It don't matter because it's going to come forth. Either way, it's already written. But it ain't no coincidence. I talked about Mordecai yesterday before it was all over with. They going to kill off the Iranian president. Because if they even realized that the trick was in the Bible, huh? And the trick was in the book of Esther. The commerce trick was in the book of Esther. That's why Trump be standing up and saying, look how they be lying. That's why those pastors who are so upset that Trump says, you know what, if we take the Constitution and take some of this stuff out of the Federal Register and put it with the Bible, it'll make more sense to y'all. They got a whole Did y'all see that? Did you see that viral thing where Trump saying, yeah, we got to put the Constitution and put some of this stuff in the front of the Bible for those who be lying? You could compare and see where they lying at. Huh? And they got mad at Trump. I got one pastor I'm talking about. He said, if y'all agree with Trump doing that, then all y'all need to get out the church or something he said to them. He told them, shame on y'all for even thinking that. But I get it. Because he's not adding or taking away from the truth. You're putting truth on top of truth. So you could go for yourself, look and go check out. Just type in Jewish Heritage Month with Donald Trump's signature in 2018 and go look that up. Then go look up Mordecai Emmanuel Noah. He have all the names, ain't it? Go check out his simulation in history in the books. Now I'm going to read this so-called scripture. I'm going to read this scripture, right? That's what I decided I'm going to do. I said, I just found, looking up information about Mordecai Emmanuel Noah, I found a book called The Innocent. It's the Innocent Bible, or it says Biblia Innocentium. It says Biblia Innocentium. That's what threw me off. I said I could go in so much detail and break and unravel this, but that's good enough for today. That part right there, that little bit of light. This right here caught my attention, and I decided I'm going to do some reading. I'm going to do some reading from the Biblia Innocentium, being the of God's chosen people before the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ came upon earth. That's what I'm going to read out of the Library of Congress. Me typing in Mordecai Noah brought me to this book. It's 269 pages. Yeah. Who would have knew, huh? Thank God. They want you to swear on the Bible on it. Watch them run for us. Oh, really? Ah, man. All right. Here we go. Oh, I got definitions in here for that I was going to go over, because I did a video that has yawn doors, and I was like, well, I wonder how many people know what yawn mean. So I was going to review yawn, but I'm not going to do that. I want to get to this book. And then breaking down yoke, because I have in one of my titles, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. But I'm, again, not going to focus on that right now. Let me get to this reading, because I said I was going to clock on around 2. I might clock on about 3. Let me see if they sent me any messages. Yep, I haven't received any messages from them. So, yep, let me just go ahead and get the reading. Sit back and relax. And here's where I'm reading from. I'm going to share the tab, but let's blow it up. Magnify. Ooh, where this book been hiding? Where has this book been hiding? You see how it started? Uh-oh. 6 days of creation. It was printed in 1892 by the Hammersmith publishers. Hammer, how you doing? I am Hammer, the Hammersmiths. Oh my goodness. The names that are written in this book, or that helped translate this book, is J.W. John William Michael, 1859 through 1945. The printer was a William Morris, 1834 to 1896. These are the owners of the book. Bishop Cortland Field. Look at the wiki dicky within the names. And Lesson J. Rosenwald. Notes, limited edition, 200 copies bound in vellum. C.F. Peterson. William Morris, 1898. They updated it to the Library of Congress, 2018. Then they say something about the bishop. Metadata and manifest. Okay, it's under the Jason Manifest. All right, here we go. Blow it up. The Fall of the Morning Star, Chapter 1. Can I get this a little larger? Yes. Am I sharing the screen with y'all? Nope. Here we go. Oh, you say my joy is contagious, boy. Do you know that song? Love is contagious. Love is contagious. That's an old 80s one. Love is contagious. Was a girl I did a video about her, the girl that sang that song, because I would have never known she was a redhead girl. And then the video was so queeky dicky. But the song says, go look it up. Love is contagious. If you remember, because I know you were into music, so you probably would remember. Was a girl in the rain. No one else can feel her pain. Was a boy. Love is contagious. Anyways, let's get to the reading. Take it down a notch. All right. Before the beginning of the world, God was in heaven. About his throne were the angels and the archangels and the heavenly hosts of their orders, who praised and served God continually. Nearest to the throne of God were 7 great archangels: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Israel, and Azazel. My bad. Let me see if I can. All right, there we go. And the 7th, whose name is now blotted out of the book of life. So the one who was blotted out of the book of life, y'all know who that is. It was, all these were okay, but it was one. But let me not, because I haven't read this book in this Bible, so I'm not going to add anything that I have to say to it. I'm just going to read. I'm just going to read and take my notes on the side for later. Nearest the throne of God were 7 great archangels: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Israfel, and Azrael, and the 7th, whose name is now blotted out of the book of life. This last was the brightest of all the heavenly people. He was called Lucifer, the morning star, because he was more splendid than all of the rest. But he grew proud of his own beauty, and though he was next to God, nothing would content him but to be first of all and to sit in God's place on the throne. Therefore, he plotted to cast down the Most High and become Lord in heaven. And a third party of the heavenly, next page. I shouldn't have to do it like this. I'm doing something wrong. I shouldn't have to do it like this. I shouldn't, every single time I switch a page, it have to come out like this. Maybe something else I could do. Give me a minute. Target full. I don't want to go home. I don't want it that small. Let me go back home. Oh. Give me a second. My bad. Do it as a slideshow. Let's see. If I do it as a slideshow, is it going to go on its own? I don't want it to go on its own. All right. This might be a little better for me to do it like this. Okay. I could do it like this. Wait. Did I just skip a page? Okay. And let's see if it's going to be nice. Okay. Now I may have to do it like this. Is it going to allow me? Not really. Maybe if I do it like this. Nope. I told you I'm dealing with this blurriness in my eyes, so I could see, but I can't. I'm like, because I'm familiar with letters all these years of my life, I can kind of make it out, but I'm not actually seeing the word, the letters. So I'm trying to get it, but I don't want to be like cutting off the I want to go run into the next page the proper way. This isn't working either. It's definitely not large enough. What's another way to do this? Image with text. Okay, let's do it as a PDF. Let's see how that comes out. Thank you for your patience. If anyone is still over here with me. I didn't have all these issues when I was reading the that seal book from Cat Island with the civil engineer book. Come on now. I hope it's loading all the pages for it to be moving this slow. Nice and slow. Let's take it nice and slow, steady as we go. From now on. All right. Nope. That don't look right. Okay, that's just the see Biblia Innocentium. Now let's see next page. Yeah, I'm not happy with this right here. This is just too slow for me. This is too slow. Loading up to the next page is too slow. Let's go to image with text. Oh my goodness. See, this is where I be feeling like the algorithm and the computer system like, no, we don't want you to do this. We don't want you to read this right here. It's a reason. Come on now, see? You see what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. I should have just strained my eyes. I should have just strained my eyes and kept it the way it was. All right, let me go back. Get out of this single image. Let's see gallery. If I do gallery, come on now. I was so excited. I done lost the excitement. I done lost the excitement for reading this book. Goodness. All right, I was on this page right here. Let me see how it come out now. I'm gonna just have to do it like this and be patient with myself. I'm learning patience. Hosts joined him, being dazzled by his brightness and thinking him as great as God. Then there was in heaven and the faithful angels with Michael the archangel as their chief captain won the victory over Lucifer and the rebel angels and drove them out of heaven. So God didn't drive them out of heaven. God didn't drive them out of heaven. Michael did. What is it doing now? The crystal walls of heaven opened before them, and the wicked angels poured down out of heaven into the Gulf of Night. Oh, they went right to the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, so they went to the Gulf first. That's the first note. They went to the Gulf. Is there any other oceans or waterways or paths that is named Gulf on this earth? Let me see. How many Gulfs are there? I'm just going to stick with what I know and what I'm confirming in the receipts. Gulf, they went straight into the Gulf. Then Michael, with the victorious angels, returned into heaven, and the walls closed behind them, and there was peace. But the place nearest the throne of God was empty, and the brightness of the morning stars had fallen out of heaven. So the stars were in heaven, but they came into a darkness and after they hit the Gulf. So that's why we can look up and see stars, because the stars actually fell out of heaven. Okay, all right. Then to fill up the dark, empty space and restore the splendor of his house, it pleased God to create man. Wait a minute. So you mean God created man in heaven? Okay, that's the first man that he created. Okay, I got it. Okay, so that's more confirmation. And as Lucifer had fallen from the place next to God through pride, God ordained that man should rise to the place next to God through humility. And then wait, and that when the time was fulfilled, the Son of God would humble himself and become man, that through him man might be lifted up to heaven and become more glorious than the angels who fell. Wait a minute, who wrote this? Because this look okay. Then to fill up the dark, empty place and restore the splendor of his house, it pleased God to create man. And as Lucifer had fallen from the place next to God through pride, God ordained that man should rise to the place next to God through humility. But if God created him next to, oh no, I'm not feeling this biblio innocentium. Something ain't right. Let me finish. God should humble himself and become man, that through him man might be lifted up to heaven and become more glorious than the angels who fell. Okay, I get it. I think. Let me keep reading. So, chapter 2, the 6 days of creation. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth as a dwelling place for man. The earth was without shape or light or substance. Okay, so the first creation, when he created the light beings, they were there with him. But he went and then created earth so that he can have a place for that first set of created man. Okay, I got it. Because the humans come later out of the dirt. Let me keep reading. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth as a dwelling place for man. Meaning man, there was a first set of man that was already created. Okay, I got it. The earth was without shape or light or substance, void and empty, even though that Lucifer had already fallen into the gulf. I get it. Like a boiling steam of darkness till the spirit. Okay, wait, so something was boiling. It was a boiling steam of darkness until the Spirit of God. Oh, goodness. Flipping pages. I wish I had the book in front of me. Oh, no, I'm not clipping anything. Until the Spirit of God spread out his wings and brooked it over. For 6 days of creation, God wrought on the house of man to make it perfect. What? He wrote on the house of man to make it perfect. God wrote on the house of man to make it perfect. On the first of the 6 days, God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. He looked at the light and saw that the light was good, and then he divided it from the darkness. Between day and night, he made evening to bring peace, and between night and day, he made morning to bring joy. Oh, so that's where they get the joy comes in the morning. So, okay. He divided it from darkness and called the light day and the darkness night. Between day and night, he made evening to bring peace. And between night and day, he made morning to bring joy. So the evening and the morning were the first day. On the second day, God divided the world of waters, parting the waters above from the waters below by the strong arc of the sky, which he stretched between. Below the sky, there was nothing yet but the steaming waste of water. So water was already waste. Water was already considered waste. On the second day, God divided the world of waters, parting the waters above from the waters below by the strong arch of the sky, which he stretched between. Below the sky, there was nothing yet but the steaming waste of waters. Above it were the clouds, and the storehouses of rain and snow. So the evening and the morning were the second day. On the third day, God drew dry land out of the waters below and gathered them into the place by themselves. And the dry land was earth, and the waters and the hollows of the land were the seas. So beneath the earth, so there, hollow is there. So we have the Gulf, we have water waste. These are notes that I'm taking for myself. Water waste and hollow. Hollows of the land were the seas. Then he created out of the earth grass and all kinds of plants and trees and their leaves and flowers and fruit. So the evening and the morning were the third day. On the fourth day, God created lights in heaven to divide the day from night and to give light on earth and to be signs of the seasons and the days of the year. So the first light he created, he said, "Let there be light." On the first day, wait a minute. Let me go back now. For 6 days, for on the first of the sixth day, let there be light, and there was light. And he looked at the light and saw it was good. And then he divided it from the darkness and called the light day and the darkness night. And between the day and night, he made evening to bring peace. So this has nothing to do with the light in the sky. This is the first set of man. Because when he created the light for the skies and for the earth, that was on the fourth day. On the fourth day, God created lights in heaven to divide the day from night and light from earth and the sun. Wait a minute. Let me look in the real Bible. Wait a minute. Not only was it two different kinds of lights, man created, there was two different times where light was created twice. I missed that all these years. Wait a minute. Okay. When God began creating the heavens and earth, the earth was shapeless, chaotic, blah, blah. Then God said, "Let there be light," and the light appeared. And it pleased, and he divided the light from the darkness and called the light and the day together, formed the first day. And let the vapors from the skies and the seas, okay, all right, go. Which day did I say this was? The fourth day. On the fourth day, let's go to the fourth day. Waters and fish. For God had made two huge lights, the sun and the moon, and to shine upon the earth, the larger one, the sun, to preside one over the day. And God set them in the sky to light the earth and preside over the. How come I always miss that all these years of my life? So not only was there two, you know what? Greater light, Latrell Tinwell. I was over there reading, so don't believe me. I wasn't ignoring you. Wait a minute. So not only was there two types of beings created at the beginning, two different types of man, there was light created two different times. So the first light was that was just for God to work. Let me see. Let me read. Go back. Let me read. Wait a minute. Okay. Let there be light, and there was light. He looked at the light and saw that it was good, and he divided it from the darkness and called the light day and the darkness night. Between the day and night, he made evening to bring peace. And between the night and day, he made morning to bring joy. So it's the evening, the male, and I don't know. Okay, keep going. Ding, ding, a light bulb on top of my head. On the second day, God divided the world of waters. Pardon, let me go on back down here. Back here. Then he created out of the earth the grass. That's no fourth day. On the fourth day, God created lights in heaven to divide the day from the night and to give light on earth and to be signs of the seasons and the days of the year. He made two great lamps of light, the sun to be Lord of the day. So the first set of light on earth did not need the sun or the moon. And the sun is the Lord over the first set of lights that was created on the first day. But the fourth day, the fourth chamber, out of the fourth day, he created the two different lights. So the sun to be Lord of the day. If you don't, you know what? I'm feeling some type of way right now. I'm feeling the reason why I'm feeling some type of way right now, because when I tell you my first time having to memorize anything out the Bible, I was 4 or 5 years old. We used to have to memorize the Bible. And I've been reading the Bible all my life. And you know those people who say they read the Bible one time all the way through and 2 times all the way through. I have witnesses and family witnesses that along with me, we have read the Bible back and forth more 365 days more than once, 2, 3 times. When I was placed in South Florida Evaluation and Treatment Center, the first month I read through the Bible twice. I've been reading the Bible all my life, and not once did it ever click in my mind that there was light created on the first day and light created on the fourth day was a 2 different set of lights. This today is a whole new awakening for me. I need to continue what I'm doing. Let me get back on with that magnesium. Get back on. I'm telling you, I need to continue what I'm doing, because you mean to tell me I'm over 50 years old and been reading the Bible, teaching Sunday school, teaching Sabbath school, huh? That went through all types of pataraks, emerald tablets, master secrets, learning companions, encyclopedias and Britannicas, and this is the first time I ever noticed and realized this. Oh, I feel like I gotta start all over. Maybe that was just for me. That was my exit sign, huh? Because I told you, huh? Do you wanna know where I am going? Where I am going? Do you want to know? Maybe this was just all I needed. Said, look, once you get this and understand light for real, it'll be time for you to get on up out of here, because I'm dumbfounded right now. Now, dumbfounded may not be a word I want to use, because in Revelation, when dumbfounded happens, Revelation 17, when you see where dumbfounded happens, oh my goodness, let me get back here. Let me get back on this. I'm feeling some type of way, man. Let's get back to it. it's written the same way in the Bible. This innocent Bible is written the same way. Okay, all right, let me see. Mm-mm-mm. The moon to be lady of the night. Oh, Whitney Houston, I'm the queen of the night, the queen of the night. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. So the moon was to be the lady of the night. So the moon was already called the lady in the Bible. How come the King James Version don't have the moon named the lady? Wait a minute. I'm going up, y'all. I'm going from each Bible that I got out here open. Preside over the day and divide the light from the darkness, and God was pleased. And into the fourth day. Nope, they leave all that out. Well, over here in the innocent Bible, it say the moon to be a lady of the night, and in the night also he set a whole multitude of stars. So stars wasn't even created in the first light, which he numbered and named. He named every single one of those lights up there. He numbered and named them. Oh, so God does use numbers according to the innocent Bible. Okay, all right. So the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And the fifth day, God created out of the waters all kinds of fishes and birds and all creatures that swim or fly. And the land full of birds. So the evening and the morning were the fifth day. The land was full of birds. On the sixth day, God created out of the ground all the beasts, both wild and tame, and all the creatures that walk or run or creep upon the land. Thus the house of man was made and furnished. The green earth and sea, both filled with live things, and the sky above them, and waters above the sky, and the sun and the moon and the stars, and evening and morning, and night and day. Then, seeing that the house was ready and that all was well made and ordered in it, God created man out of the dust of the ground, making him in his own likeness and breathing his own spirit into him. And he blessed him, and he gave him lordship over the whole earth and all that lived in it. Thus God finished 6 days of his creation, and on the seventh day he rested from all his work and was well pleased, seeing that all was good. Therefore he blessed the seventh day and appointed it to be a day of rest for the delight over the new world. And the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Mind you, for the light over the new world. So when God created this world, remember, he had already created man, and then he created a house for another set of man that he would make. So there were the light beings that had already existed, and then it was this man that he created from the dust of the ground. I still see that the same way. I'm just still dumbfounded about the light. For the delight over the new world and the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Meaning, the first set of men, they were excited when God created man out of the dust of the ground. They were celebrating and singing. Okay. All right. It's not so far off written from what's written in the King James Version. Let's go. Let me read a little bit more. I really want to get off of here right now because I want to go look up about this light and how I missed that all these years of my life. All these years of my life. Wow. Still stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck on that. Mm-mm-mm. The Garden of Eden. The whole earth was fresh, green, and bright. No rain fell, but from the mists rose the earth daily and watered the ground. But in all the earth, the most beautiful place was the Garden of Paradise, which God planted eastward in Eden. A wall ran around it. So you mean to tell me there was masons already building walls? So the first set of beings had already built a wall around the garden. It doesn't say, it says a wall ran all around it with one gate that looked to the rising sun. So the beings that had already been created, remember that he created man out of the dust, that one man. But he had already had the beings that were created when Lucifer fell, that he created up there with him, those light beings that he would raise up to be better than what you call it. So Adam was stuck on here, even though, so that must be why they built the wall, because remember, Lucifer and his fallen angels was already in the Gulf. Okay, I get that. They were in the Gulf already. So here, they created a wall, I guess, because they were excited for Adam. They created a wall to protect Adam, a wall and gates. Let me read. A wall ran all around it with one gate that looked to the rising sun. Inside it, a river rose out of the ground that watered the garden, and then parted into 4 streams that ran into 4 quarters of the world. The first of the 4 rivers, Pison, which flowed south from Havilah, a land of gold and spice and precious stones. And the second was Gihon, which ran west and flowed into the land of the blacks. Wait, where is that in the Bible? Wait a minute. Okay, let me make sure they're using those names. Havilah, crossing the length of the land of Cush. Instead of saying, they use Cush, King James Version, instead of, this is where they try to fix the story. It don't say Cush here, it say land of the blacks. Okay. A third was Hiddekel, which was eastward into Asia. And the fourth was Euphrates. Paradise was planted with every kind of tree that is lovely in leaf or good for fruit. And in the middle of the 2 trees grew side by side and rose higher than all the rest. One was the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and the other of tree of life. In this garden, God put the man whom he had created, whose name was Adam, and gave the keeping of it his charge. So I guess after Adam had grew up and started standing up and walking, and the beings, the light beings who was already celebrating that he created Adam, they built a wall with a gate, and God put Adam there. All the beasts and birds came in pairs before Adam in the garden and worshiped him as their master. And he gave them each, oh, I hate the way I have to flip these pages like this and then it goes back down and all that, because this is getting good to me. This is getting real good. Gave them their own name, but he himself was alone in the garden and had no companion. Then God made a deep sleep fall on him. And as he slept, this was my stepfather used to say this was the first surgery. Then God made him a deep sleep fall on him. And as he slept, took out one of his ribs and closed up the flesh again and made the rib into a woman. Baby back ribs, huh? That video that you did, Latrell Tinwell, of Sir Drop, that scene where he hacking the ribs just came to mind. Then he brought her to Adam and woke him again out of sleep. Adam at once knew that the woman was sent him to be his wife. He called her Eve, the mother. And Adam and Eve lived in paradise together. So there was a lady already in the garden that came through the moon, right? Okay, I get that. So that's where the little story come from. But who was the son? I don't know. Let me finish. God gave Adam leave to eat the fruit of all the trees in the garden except the apples growing on the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So that's why they figure it's an apple and not a pomegranate. Okay, because of this book right here. He forbade Adam to eat of them that he might not lose his innocence and die. So if he ate the apple, he'll lose his innocence and die. You eat the apps. The serpent in paradise. Of all the beasts whom Adam and Eve lived and talked in paradise. So they was able to talk to all of the creatures. So you mean to tell me not only did the serpent was able to talk, but they was able to talk to other creatures. So it says of all the beasts with whom Adam and Eve lived and talked in paradise, the wisest was the serpent. So none of the other creatures tried to whisper into their ears and tell them sneaky, slithering things. It was just the serpent, because the serpent was the wisest one. So all the creatures was able to talk. Okay, that's why you get the remnants of some animals still left that can talk, some birds, like a parrot. All the animals were able to talk. Well, the beasts. Of all the beasts whom Adam and Eve lived and talked in paradise, the wisest was the serpent. He asked Eve, "Has God told you not to eat from any tree in the garden?" And she answered, "We may eat the fruit of any tree except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, but we must not eat that, nor even touch it, or we shall die." And he said, "You shall not die. If you eat of it, you will know good and evil and be as wise as God himself." How you think I'm so wise? I've been eating off that tree. Eve looked at the tree. It was pleasant to her eye, and the fruit seemed, oh, I got to turn a page. uh, oh goodness, turning pages is so tedious. Good to eat. And in her desire to know good and evil, she forgot her obedience. She was like, I want to know what turns you on. For looking, she fell into wishing. From look, okay, so that's how it starts. It starts with a look, and then you start looking and you start wishing, and from wishing it went to touching. That's how sin is, especially when you get around somebody. That's why I always, if the person be asking me to can they come up, I'm like, nope, because I already know. Huh? I never read it put like this in the Bible, but I know how it go. First it gets me looking, then the looking you be wishing. I wish. I wish, I wish, I wish. And then from wishing to touching. And at last, she plucked an apple and ate it. Then she gave another to Adam, and he ate it too. And she didn't even have to convince him. It say in one book I read, it say, yep, she went and she was like, look here, huh? And then she did all that persuading. Nope, it says she just gave it to him and he ate it also. So that means, does it mean she tricked him because she didn't tell him, say, look, he probably thought he was, nah, he might not even knew what the fruit looked like. Huh? I don't know. But she just gave it to him. Till then, they had only known good. Now they knew good and evil, and the clothing of innocence fell off of them. So they had clothes. They say Adam and Eve was in the garden naked. They had clothes. They had clothes of innocence. All right, so they wasn't walking around naked. They had a wall. They had gates. They communicated with the animals. If these animals can talk, I'm pretty sure they didn't just leave their feces all over the place. They wanted the garden to stay beautiful. And it says here that they had clothes. They had clothes of innocence, though. I wonder what innocent clothes look like. Now they were afraid of God and trying to conceal their nakedness and shame. Not that they weren't naked before that. They became naked because the innocent clothes fell off. So they were trying to conceal their nakedness and shame. They became shame because they had lost their innocent clothes. Because when we hear the story, well, I've heard the story all my life, and always thought that Adam and Eve were in the garden naked. But they weren't in the garden naked. They had housing, utilities, gates, walls, and they're just like, what's her name? Brista out of Coconut Grove, one of the founding cornerstones of Coconut Grove. She said the thing about the Bahas is they had carpentry in their blood. They were born carpenters. It was in their blood. So the first beings that created the wall for Adam and Eve, they built a wall. Anyways, let me get back. They was naked and hiding in shame, and they made themselves covering of fig leaves. They couldn't wear innocent clothes anymore. They hid among the trees all the rest of the day. So now they done got up in the trees. In the cool of the evening, God came down to walk in the garden with them. I come to the garden alone. And they heard the voice calling them. See, God used to communicate with them. They used to talk to the animals, and God would come by and visit them just to check to make sure everything going all right. And they came before him in great fear and misery. And Adam said to God, I heard the sound of thee in the garden and was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. And God said to Adam, well, who told you you was naked? I had your eyes fixed and you were clothed in innocence, a stealth veil that you wouldn't even realize what naked it was unless somebody told you or you did something you wasn't supposed to do. Have you been eating of the tree which I told you not to eat? And Adam answered, well, the woman you gave, he first gonna blame the woman, huh? The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me the fruit from the tree and I ate it. Then God said to Eve, what is this that you have done? It don't even say it like he was yelling at them or nothing. He's just like, okay, now what you done did? And she answered, well, the serpent beguiled me and I ate it. Then God gave judgment upon all three. He said, okay, then I'm going to give you a trinity. This is a trinity whooping. This is a trinity whipping. This is where the trinity first started. The trinity first began. He condemned the serpent to go crawling around on the ground to eat dust forever. So he was walking upright. And he wasn't the only beast that could talk. But now he had to crawl on the ground and eat the dust forever. And Adam and Eve were sentenced. See, and it doesn't say that the serpent was the devil. Remember, the devil was in the gulf. The devil was in the gulf. This serpent was just a regular beast, like all the other beasts. And it could talk just like all the others can talk. He condemned the serpent to go crawling on the ground and eat the dust forever. And Adam and Eve were sentenced to be driven out of paradise and not to eat any more of the tree of life, for it did not grow anywhere except in that garden. Labor and sorrow was sent into their life, and in the end, they had to die. See, they would have been able to live forever, huh? And then they want to blame it on the serpent. But we know that the serpent was not the devil because the devil was in the gulf. Ground was cursed to them and made to bear thorns and thistles and only yield food by hard work and sweat of Adam's brow. And Eve had to bear her children with sorrow and pain. Then God clothed them both with coats of skin and drove them out of the garden. Now, coats of skin. I saw something on Mordecai's, one of his thing about somebody being whipped and then given a coat, a cow coat, a coat skin or something in one of the periodicals about Mordecai. Let me see. I might still have it up. Right here, cow skinned him. Here we go. I'm glad I didn't come out of that. See this? This article right here about Mordecai that got me to reading this in the first place. Elijah, who attacked him on the steps, cow skinned him. Mordecai Noah, city of New York, and then dash 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 SS. See there? Okay, so let me get back here. Coat of skins. And this is where Adam had a new type of covering, which became a skin. So before that, they didn't have coats of skin. They had clothing of innocence. Skin wasn't a part of their wear until having to leave the garden. It doesn't say that it was animal skin or beast skin or nothing like that. just skin. Your skin, the epidermal. This is when the epidermal was created. The epidermis, the epha. The epha was created then and drove them out of the garden. And when they left paradise, it was barred behind them. So they put bars on the gates. Who barred it? And the guard of angels, and a guard of angels at the gate with flaming sword that turned every way, so that no man thenceforth might be able to go in and eat for the fruit of the tree of life. So it never said that garden was removed from earth, because they could talk about the flood all day long, but angels that guarded it more than likely still guarding it. Because think about it now. This is just being supposedly realistic based on their museums and stuff that they have all over the land. That every other day they keep saying they digging up stuff from 10,000 years ago and 1,000,000 years ago and 100,000 years ago. If all these things they're building and finding that long ago, don't that mean the Garden of Eden would still be somewhere on earth? And that those angels, because angels don't die, are still guarding it with a light? Gotta be. I mean, if they digging up things talking about we found this 5,000 years old, this right here is 6,000 years old, another thing here is 10 million years old. We dug this up from ancient dynasty number 1. Allegedly, Adam called Eve Hawa because she was brought forth to life. Let me read some more. No, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna stop here because I want to go and do some research on the light, and I want to go ahead and get ready to hit this clock. Get started on this new slave journey. Greater light, I appreciate all that came over and celebrated the new found light connection that just clicked in my brain. I don't know. And Latrell Tinwell, greater light. B.S. King, great to see you. Red Squid X made it over. Red Squid X, thank you. Voy, greater light. When I come back tomorrow, I'll be dropping the link. Get ready. Help me understand what am I seeing about this light? Why is light so important? Why is it 2 different days of creation of light? 2 different days. I know it was 2 different creations of man, 2 type of man, but 2 different days of light. What was the first light? Greater light.